Hi everybody, Jill here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a wig chat. So today you guys are going to be looking at another Jon Renau wig here. I have never tried this one at all. Super excited to check it out. I have not taken this one even out of the box yet. So this wig was sent to me by Wigs By Pattis Pearls so I can share it with you guys, and I am super excited to check this style out. Never ever have I tried this one yet. This is called Elisha and it is in Palm Springs Blonde. Yes, now the one I have on my head, I just finished the wig chat on this. You will have already seen this hopefully. If not, it'll show up at the end of this video. You can click on the link and it'll take you right there. Now this is Elisha, and Elisha is not a heat-friendly fiber. This is a regular synthetic fiber. So it's going to be interesting to sort of show you the difference between Palm Springs Blonde in both of these types of fibers. This is Elizabeth in Palm Springs Blonde, and this is a heat-defiant fiber, meaning you can take some heat to it. And if I had a human hair version of Palm Springs Blonde, all three of them will look a little different. So I'm glad that we can take a look at this right away. Okay, so Elisha. This is another 100% hand-tied cap, you guys. I went into detail on the wonderful positive things about a hand-tied cap here with Elizabeth, which is also a hand-tied cap. You're going to get a very realistic movement. These hairs, these little fibers actually are sewn in one at a time. You're going to, if the wind blows, it's going to blow. It's just the most realistic, closest to your regular natural hair. And they're very comfortable. These caps are very comfortable. I would say one of the possible downsides is that they can sometimes feel warmer. The cap themselves can feel just more warm than a machine wefted cap. You know, machine wefted caps, they have a little more stretch. They allow some circulation in and around, you know, the cap itself. So sometimes people feel these can be a little more warm than a machine wefted cap, even though they're very light, very, very light. Still, you don't have those spaces, you know, that you would have in between the machine wefts. Now, this has the full monofilament top, 100% hand tied. It has the smart lace, temple to temple lacing here. So you have a very realistic front hairline. You're going to have a very realistic experience in general because you're going to be able to part this anywhere you want. You can put clips in it, you can style it, and you won't have to worry about wefts showing. And you're going to have a very realistic part, sort of scalp appearance everywhere. So it really is pretty amazing. Now we have an extended nape here as well, and this is very soft velvet or moleskin. Extended napes are really a lovely feature. They just feel more comfortable against the nape back here. They cut down a lot on sort of itching, and I do prefer an extended nape when I can get it. And then on the ear tabs here, again, really soft. We've got a really firm metal stay. I'm all about that. I love having nice, firm metal stays. Keeps that really nice against the head, and it's just a nice, secure feeling. You can kind of lightly cup it in, and it just feels good. So yeah, this, I mean, Cadillac of caps here, really. It just has everything. Now, because it's hand tied, you're not going to have the stretch that you would normally have with a machine wefted cap. So it may fit and feel a little more snug. It just depends on what your measurements are. And I always try to put my measurements down below in the description box. So I'll put those down there so you can at least get a gauge as to what my measurements are. But yeah, so let's take a look. This is Palm Springs Blonde. I can already tell how light this wig is, and the density is Very nice, not over the top. Very, very nice. I can't wait to get this on. Looks like, you know, we've got some kind of a little bit of a stacked bob going on here with some movement, with some layers up here. So that's very nice. Got some layers, kind of stacks a little bit under here. Looks like we've got some length. Gets a little longer here in front. That's interesting. Huh, yeah. All right. We'll take a look at the rooting and all of that when I get this on my head, and we'll take a look at that lace front. It's a very soft root on this Palm Springs blonde, very soft. So if you're fair like me, that's actually very nice. And it being so soft, the roots and the knotting is going to be also softer because it's not going to be so dark where those knots just can kind of come at you. And I can tell that is true as I'm looking at it. All right, so let's get Elisha on. And again, pay attention to where your wig grip is because it may be lifting up that lacing enough to where it's not wanting to touch your skin. All right, so one thing that I can notice right straight away is there's a lot more shine in this than there is with my Elizabeth. Why is that? Well, this is a heat-friendly fiber and they tend to not be as shiny as the non-heat friendly synthetic fibers. So even though this is the same color, it is definitely more shiny, and I would probably feel the need to put some dry shampoo on this before I were to go out and about in it because it's been coated with that silicone sort of coating that they do in the factory, and so it's really going to reflect that light quite a bit. And you know, on one end that silicone sort of protects the fiber, but on the other end it really reflects light a lot. So, and I've also read, I think, that for some reason blonde colors, they even put more of that on. So that also is why they can be a little extra shiny. The lighter the blonde, it seems like the more shiny that they are going to be. So, and then, you know, we look at the color right away and I feel like we've got a little bit more of an overall sort of beigey light blonde here. And this is definitely, I feel like a little more platinum coming through, definitely sort of all over, a little bit lighter, and that could also be the shine that's going on that's kind of reflecting back at us. It definitely will, you know, contribute to that. But I just think that the dynamicness of this color that I love so much about Palm Springs Blonde is lost a little bit in the non-HD version. However, it's still quite pretty. It's very pretty. I just feel like dry shampoo is in order. Whereas this, it just looks like really nice, healthy hair. All right, so even though this is a full sort of mono top and we have all of this is 100% hand tied, so no matter where we part this hair, we're going to have very realistic appearance, scalp appearance, no matter what happens. The wind blows in the back or whatever, we're going to see really beautiful natural scalp appearance. That is just going to happen. That's the beauty. One of the beautiful things about these hand-tied caps. So before I get too into this and have a little fun, let's go ahead and do a spin on this. This is Elisha. Okay, so I am normally a left side parter, so I went ahead and flipped it over there. Again, we have that luxury with this cap to be able to do that, because on top of it being hand tied, we have that full mono top. Lovely. I'm dying to actually get a little styling product in here just because I'm curious as to the shaping of this wig and as to kind of what we can do with it. And I want to kind of understand the style and kind of the gist of what they were going for. So I'm just kind of moving things around really gently. This line is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Beautiful. Really pretty. And I see the same sort of shaping as in here. Just to give you an idea, we have very short and then really nice. I don't know. I always like to check out the shaping because that's going to really give me clues as to how fun and where I want to put this and how I want to probably deal with it and style it. And it'll also help me go like, okay, this is really nicely shaped. So I'm not going to be fighting with this that much. It's gonna do really nicely. Longer here. We got the layers, that little bit of stacking back here. This is a really interesting, pretty little style here. You know, it's almost like Ignite grew out a little bit. You know, it's like this is a phase of Ignite growing out. I kind of get a little bit of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my Style and Hold hairspray here by Beauty Mark. I do really like this spray. Just kind of go for a sort of messier look here. You know, we do have layers in here. Why not bring them out a little bit? I don't know, guys. I really am kind of still liking this Palm Springs blonde in this particular style. I think a little spray gel in here would be fun to experiment with. I do have spray gel. This is very heavy. It's almost too heavy here to tuck. So let's not fight what it wants to do here. I mean, if you don't fight it, you know, this is kind of what it wants to do, is just kind of come forward. That's why it's cut in this way. And it actually is really pretty. It's very classy. It's very classy and sophisticated and quite an elegant haircut. Again, it's kind of nice because we can put something in her and we don't have to worry about wefts or anything, because being 100% hand tied means that we don't have to worry about stuff like that. I like doing this when I don't know, I just feel more casual. I don't feel like dealing with anything in my face, you know? So then I like doing this, where I like to pin this back, and then I will roll the sides. And then I just kind of like to tuck anything that may be left over. So this, you know, would be a way that I would, that I do wear my wigs, actually. And I definitely like doing something like this with my Ignite. I will do the same thing. We have a gorgeous lace front here in the front where you can pull pretty much the whole thing back if you wanted. Or you can roll this too and make it over to just the side. And we'll kind of shove that over that direction. I have a couple of really cute blingy kind of claw clips that would be really pretty in this. I just don't know what I did with it. Like a little hairspray, little product. I just think adding a little styling aid here and there is going to give you just a more realistic look, and it's going to take advantage of the gorgeous styles that are set in there in your wigs. You know, and playing with this texture is bringing out this gorgeous style that's in this particular wig. Yeah, I really like that. I like kind of the less smooth look with this. Totally different look, isn't it? Totally different look. So let's talk a little bit about that just briefly before I sign off on this one. Should you use product, even if it's made for synthetic fibers and wigs? Should you use product on your wigs? Will it ruin your wigs? Will it make the longevity of your wigs shorter? Will it gum up the fibers and they'll never be the same? I have to say, I have never had any of those things happen. If you watch my wig chats, for the most part, I do love to use product in my wigs. I love to style my wigs. It is one of the joys that I get with having a wig on my head is I love to style them. I love to get them to their potential when it comes to how they're cut, and, you know, just bring forth and bring out the style and the texture and all of that. It really is absolutely fun. It's fun for me. You may be very, very different. But I also think that putting some hairspray, at the very least, into your wigs and it kind of moving those fibers up and off the cap, it gives a very realistic realism to your wigs. I don't want you to be afraid to use styling products in your wigs. There are different sorts of styling products, and you're going to learn which ones you like to work with the best. And you're also going to learn sort of how to use them, because styling aids for synthetic fibers and wigs are a little different than what you're used to using if you use them in your regular natural hair. They behave a little differently. So there's a little bit of a learning curve there. But I would say my biggest caution is when you're dealing with styling creams. Jon Renau has a styling creme, you know, and Beauty Mark, I believe also, I think, you know, styling creams, they usually come in a jar type thing. And they have just a creamy, heavier sort of feel. Jon Renau's is more of a wax even. You don't need much of that at all. Those are lovely to bring out real texture, to make things piecey. I mean, Jon Renau's is called a piece out cream. You're piecing it. Great for short styles, and it just gives a whole different dimension. But be careful, because it will gum up your fibers in no time. It'll wash out for the most part. Actually, they can actually just sort of comb out. Unless you get too much in there, then you're just going to have to wash it out. But they will wash completely out. I've never had styling products ruin my wigs. I've never had styling products not come out of my wigs when I do decide to wash them. And I mean, I have some styles that I hardly use any styling product in at all. I mean, you probably will never get me to wear a wig out of the box without at least putting a little hairspray in it. For no other reason is that the flyaways would drive me nuts. But I do have some styles that I don't use hardly anything on. And I can tell you, the ones that I do style to high heaven, like my Ignites, I've never seen using styling aids cut down the longevity of my wigs. I just think there are a lot of other variables in there. For instance, you know, if you're not very careful, or you're, I don't know, you're not taking good care of your wigs, you're not combing them out really nice and gently at the end of the day and spraying them with maybe a little conditioning spray. I mean, there's a lot of different variables that can cut down the length of the wearability of your wigs. I just, you know, I really feel like I am a pretty strong proponent of telling you guys, and the message is many times is don't be afraid to get in there and get those fibers off the cap. Don't be afraid to use styling products that are made for that particular fiber, you know, synthetic fibers. They're made for that, and I think that you will have a finished look that will sort of reflect who you are a little more. Treat it like your own hair. You know, when you get that on, then you got it nice and secured. You know, would you style your regular hair? Well, then don't be afraid to do it to your wigs. This is one of my favorite hairsprays for synthetic fibers for wigs, because that's what it's made for, and it's by Beauty Mark. It's the Style and Hold. I've also tried the Jon Renau holding spray, and I just find this one acts a little bit closer to more of a traditional hairspray and what I'm looking for, you know. And so I've been enjoying this. I think this is the third bottle that I have purchased. I really like it. And I have now tried a good 4 or 5 different brands of hairsprays, and this is still my favorite. All right, guys. This is Elisha in Palm Springs Blonde, and yes, I do think I would still probably do a little dry shampoo, which is a human hair product, by the way. That is probably my only thing that I have done, because everyone does it, I think, and that makes me feel a little better, is the dry shampoo, you know, for regular human hair. I would have to do that, I think, to wear this confidently outside in the real world. I think I would have to do that. And actually, that also would help styling aids like this hairspray even work a little better when you have a little bit of that dry shampoo in there. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you so much for Wigs by Pattis Pearls for sending this to me so I can share it with you guys. You guys have a lovely rest of your day, and if it's in the evening, I hope you sleep well. Stay safe, stay well, and stay young at heart. Bye-bye.